Hi, friends. How are you today? So good to see you as always. Oh, my goodness. I love these member spotlights. And let me tell you, this is one of my favorite subjects. So this conversation could go for an hour. I don't think anybody will sit through it, but I could chat about it forever. All right, enough. All right, so joining me today, this is so much fun, is Peter Scalzitti with Cruise Planners, correct?
That's correct.
We're off to a great start. So he is a high level travel advisor. And oh my gosh, seriously, this is one of my favorite subjects. So Peter, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me about what a travel advisor does.
Basically, a travel advisor is an advocate for our clients in regards to their travel needs. Mm-hmm. And so what we do is we obviously do all the necessary due diligence to make sure that our clients are spending their money the right way and in the right places. And sometimes people come to us with ideas about travel, but really don't understand how to get from A to Z, or they think they do, but then sometimes there are things in the way that we can recommend to help make their plans easier and for them to enjoy things a lot nicer. So it's just we're here to do all the work and to work with them through their whole process of where do they want to go and how do they want to get there.
Because people are spending a nice chunk of change on travel.
They are.
So it needs to be well thought out and planned. So you work with cruise planners, but you do the whole gamut.
Yes, everything. Cruise Planners was initially started in the early 90s by two women who strictly focused on cruises. And then when they decided to get into the franchise model, they decided to build out and do everything from all different types of cruises: ocean cruises, river cruises, expedition cruises, and then there's the land component to everything else we do, from independent tours, group tours, luxury, trains, safaris, you name it. I do everything that any other travel agency can do.
And again, I'm going to harp on this. You are spending a good chunk of change on this, so it needs to be right. And a travel advisor takes all the guesswork out of it, and you work with individuals and families to best fit their budget and itinerary goals.
Yeah, I work with individuals, families, large groups. So if somebody has some sort of affinity group that they want to do something with, I also help businesses with incentive travel for producers who may hit a certain point that if it's something they want to reward for their employees, whether it's in a sales competition or just key individuals that do a good job for businesses, they want to reward them with some sort of travel for the employee and their family. I do that as well. So it runs the full gamut. There's even retirees. I do work with a lot of folks who are retired. So there's no one set group.
And works with all price points, all groups. So that's important to know. And it does not cost me as a consumer anything to work with you, correct?
No, not at all. And that's why I always tell everybody, when you work with me, I don't have any favorites. So my favorite is the client, okay, and being the best advocate for how they spend their money. So if somebody doesn't want to do something that I recommend, that's fine. If they do, even better. So we work through the whole process. So I don't want to feel indebted to being only one sort of type of travel agent that does one thing with one company. I'm very universal, and I'll tell you the pros and cons of everything that we do.
And so it really is you've talked about this on the international airfare is out of this world. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But you can help people find the better deals, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I work with my international airfare. I work with a variety of air brokers. And what they do is they go out to the airlines, and because they do so much business with the airlines, it helps bring down cost. And so therefore that I pass that on. It has to be premium economy business or first. It won't be standard economy, but oftentimes there are savings by having me go out and have them bid in individuals' airfare. And especially right now, anything international, if you go to shop it, they're only going to show you published air, where my air brokers get a better deal. And so you'll never see that price without working with a travel advisor.
yeah, again, you will never see that deal without
Yeah.
working with a travel advisor.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part is there are a lot of when somebody goes to plan their own travel, there's a lot of lack of transparency with a lot of travel suppliers out there. And so working with our suppliers, they're vetted through our cruise planners organization. These are companies that have the money behind them to make sure that they can continue to do everything that our clients want. They're not here today, gone tomorrow. These are companies that are established with everything that you want to do in travel as unique as you want to get with it. So we just don't work with anybody. They have to be vetted through being a cruise planner's travel advisor. And I've got suppliers that do everything all over the world. So it's a lot.
So talk to me about how important is travel insurance?
Oh, that's key. I mean, people think that travel insurance really kicks in while they're away, but you have to remember something can come up before you travel, and there's reasons to cancel that can be covered issues. So I always recommend travel insurance. Not everybody wants to take it. They think nothing bad's ever going to happen. And I will tell you, I have heard time and time again that, things come up at the last minute. I had clients last year who were going to Bora Bora and French Polynesia, and 3 days before their travel, she came down with a terrible lung infection, and the doctor said, you can't travel. They got all their money back. If they didn't, that was a significant amount of money that they would have been out, because it was a beautiful over the water bungalow place in Bora Bora and Moorea and those places. So therefore travel insurance is key before you go and during your travel as well. Things happen all the time, and it's unfortunate.
Listen to my words. Get travel insurance.
Yes.
Insurance.
Yes.
You're you're spending so much money on a trip. It's worth the extra couple $100 to protect yourself.
It really is. I mean, and a lot of people don't understand what things cost, because once you're out of this country, your major medical will not cover you at all. So you got to really think about that. And I've seen it personally with things that happen with my clients. And I've also known a lot of people who've had to use it. I've had to use it once before I traveled somewhere in 2013. Something came up with our family, and you know what? I'd rather stay here with the family, but thank God I had travel insurance.
Very important. Okay, so I've harped on that enough. So during the trip, are you in communication with your clients if they're out of the country?
It depends on what my clients feel comfortable with. Obviously, I meet with everybody before they depart for their trip, and we go over a lot of the logistics, as we have from the beginning planning stages up until the moment that, say, about a week before they leave. Some clients, they'll send me a text message or a photo of where they are and what they're doing, and then some people I hear when they get back. So, but I'm always accessible while they're away, but I go over everything with all of my suppliers before someone leaves to make sure hotels, transportation, excursions, tours, whatever is ready to go. So that's just something that I do on my end before they head out.
And it's travel, and you have no control over a lot of stuff. So it's good to know Peter's there for you and will help you if anything comes up.
Yeah, I always tell people, do what is safe and we'll handle everything else after. Because even though something's happening in the moment, I may not be able to solve that problem, but still safety is paramount. And obviously trying to do something that you have the best situational awareness of where you are and what you're doing in order to continue on your way. And if that costs a few more dollars, we'll figure it out afterwards. But continue on your path and we'll cover it, because sometimes I just can't handle it in the moment. There's no way logistically for that to happen.
But you're there and you're a good sounding board and you're every step of the way. So,
yes.
All right. So I think I know this, but so why travel? What do you love about this job or career or passion or?
Well, I think that travel is something that broadens the mind to begin with. And for me, I've always wanted to be in a business that was fun. And coming out of two businesses that I sold previously, I wanted to get involved with something again that was a creative sale, a consultative sale, something on which I can continue to do what I did before in terms of being people's advocates and helping people spend money the right way. And so that's really what attracted me to travel. That, and it's such a variety of clients that I have a product and a service in which always keeps me refreshed and going, because nothing is ever the same. There's no cruise is ever the same. No land package is ever the same. People's travel styles are all different. So to me, it's a way that I don't get complacent with a business or a product. And unfortunately, in businesses, sometimes complacency kicks in and people take for granted some of the basics of being good for your clients. And so that's what keeps me going. It's just creative and it's fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so where's the new hot spot? If you had to pick, like if you were a consumer and you're going somewhere that's kind of under the radar, where would you suggest people going to go?
Well, right now Europe is hot.
Yeah.
But when people think of Europe, they're thinking of London, Rome, Paris, but you have to start thinking about Lisbon, Portugal, or heading over to Croatia, or maybe going to Greece, or going up to Northern Europe into the Netherlands, some of the Switzerland, Finland, those areas, Iceland, areas that right now aren't so hot that their pricing is substantial. Okay. Not that it isn't expensive in other places, but there are places in Europe right now that are at such capacity that if you waited till the last minute, it's going to cost you a premium. And I have a client that did just a week ago doing a cruise out of Barcelona to Rome, and then I have them going Rome to Venice. Well, things are cost much different now than if he would have done that 3 or 4 months ago. So I would say places off the beaten path that, or different types of journeys. I have clients doing train journeys. Okay. I have clients that just want to basically, I can get them to Europe and then they're going to set out on foot and be very independent, what we call free and independent travel. So I think, going to places that aren't normally maybe at the top of somebody's list. And right now, Portugal, Croatia, and Northern Europe are very accessible.
Check.
Yeah. And also, I would say I will preface it at a somewhat reasonable price. Anything that you thought you spent before the pandemic, you better increase your budget, because pricing now is just much different.
Because people are out and they're out there doing that. So,
and a lot of people lost their income in Europe for 2.5 years. So now we know when they're looking at their price structure, they're trying to take advantage of that demand, and they want to make money, and they know there's a demand there.
Yeah, very good. So you touched on it a little bit. So what's a good, how far in advance should people start planning? 6 months, 6 weeks, a year? What's the best? Not a week ahead of time.
Yeah, not a week ahead of time. Like, for example, I'll give the Alaska cruise season. Okay. Because that's a season from about end of April through kind of September-ish. I normally tell people you're going to want to plan out Alaska a year ahead of time.
Okay. Good to know.
Because trying to get people last minute for Alaska in 2023 for cruising or cruise tours in Alaska are pretty booked up. So that, for example, you want to book out. River cruises, again, they're extremely popular since they're smaller ships. We have to plan those out as well, because you want certain types of accommodations on a river cruise. We got to plan, and that's about a 6 to 9 month thing. Alaska, I've had people booking Alaska for 2024, starting back in February of 23.
Oh, wow.
We have deployment schedules for ships all over the world, so that's not a problem. Europe, I would say about 3 to 4 months. You want to plan that out. The Christmas season and the holidays, especially, is getting tight. So, you don't want to wait until August or September to figure out Christmas plans. So I would, on average, say if it was a standard cruise in the United States somewhere, I could probably find you space on a ship somewhere within 30, 60, or 90 days. But even cruises right now are in such demand, it's getting tight.
So don't wait.
Don't wait. Yeah, if there's something on your mind that someone is thinking about for this year, or especially for 24, I will tell you, take advantage of promotions that are in place this year, and as well as the logistics of getting there. Now, some airfare can't be purchased 12 months in advance, so we have to wait sometimes to do that. But at least I can continue to track that, like I do for a lot of my clients looking to fly in 24.
Very good. Okay, so here's the $1 million question, and you can only name one. What is your favorite place that you've ever traveled to? Only one.
Wow. I love Rome, Italy. There's so much history there. The art, the architecture, the food, the culture. I fell in love with Rome, and I love going there. And my wife and I have spent a lot of time traveling in Italy, so we kind of get the way that you have to travel in Italy is much different. So yeah, I would say Rome. Rome is somewhere where if I could, I'd easily retire there.
Oh, well, good. You answered that quicker than I thought. I was throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to reach you? Email, phone number, a combination of both? What works best?
It's a combination of people sending me either a direct message on LinkedIn, calling my office number, texting my office number, and email. So I'm very accessible many different ways. And so on my I have all that information on my business page, plus my personal LinkedIn page, and my website is pretty easy to remember, and that's where everybody can reach me as well.
So tell us your website.
Website is cruiseplannershouston.com, all one word. And just make sure you have the S after planners, but cruiseplannershouston.com, and then phone number and email. On LinkedIn, I have a lot of people reach out to me via direct message, and that's one way that we start conversations.
Okay, and spell your last name for us.
Scalzitti. It is SCALZITTI.
Perfect. That's where you can find them on LinkedIn or cruiseplannershouston.com.
That's right. Yep. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm always there.
Very good. This has been so much fun. I swear to goodness, I could have talked about travel because I love to travel. I think it's so important. Take your family, take your little ones, and show them the world.
Yes, I have a lot of grandparents taking families on vacations, and that's nice. And then I have mom and dad want to get out, so it goes from two different things, and doing something unique is really special for families too. It creates a lot of good memories.
And Peter will help you do that. You do not have to do this by yourself.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm here. I mean, I handle anything and everything and all the logistics of getting people places. And you'd be surprised at some of the tiny things people miss when they're trying to book by themselves.
All right. Well, very good. Give Peter a call or on his website, and he will take very good care of you. So, all right. Well, thank you for this. Really, I think
no problem. Well. Thanks for having me.
We didn't talk for an hour and a half, which I could have done.
Oh, I know. I could go on and on about how wonderful travel is.
Me too.
There's so many places in the world to see that are just, very, very unique. And that's why I'm here. That's why I love being a travel advisor.
Oh, well, you hear your passion come through loud and clear, and he's very, very good. So,
thanks.
All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Peter. And you guys be safe and be well and plan your trips now.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.